Hey planner friends, welcome back to the Planner Hoot. I hope you guys are having a great start to your February season. I am going to show you guys today 2 additional planners that I have in my planner stack. They are not essential to my day-to-day every single day throughout the whole year, but they are essential when I have a very busy season or I just need to temporarily branch out something in the meantime and I don't want to overload my current Nancy planner. If you've seen my previous videos, you know that my Nancy layout is structured to give me that work-life balance for my life, and I'm able to see what my week looks like ahead of time and what my day-to-day is going to really entail. And so I don't want to be bombarding this when I have different seasons that are sometimes busy and sometimes not busy, and that's where the Undated planners come in perfectly. And so in honor of Laurel Denise launching a completely new Undated collection in a couple of weeks, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to share with you 2 of the ways that I use my Undated planners, and maybe you can add one to your stack too. So let's get into it. All right, so I'm going to put my Nancy away because it's all about my Undated collection right now. And so I feel like February to March, at least for me, it always becomes a busy season, but it's only temporary. And so I don't like to bring in a whole new planner because I don't need 12 full months of that specific purpose. And I also don't want to add more to my Nancy planner. So the Undated planners that I've kept in my collection have worked so well for these seasons in my life. And so what I'm going to do is show you the current planner spread that I have. And so this is specifically for a project that I'm working on. So I am going to be trying a different strategy for myself and marketing for myself, but also getting some research for my clients. So it's serving 2 purposes. And so I just needed an area where I was able to kind of zoom out everything and just focus on this specific project. So I'm using the Undated Rose Planner or Rose Layout so that it is my specific project planner in this case. And so what I love about this is you can create whatever layout you want for that Undated planner. So as you can see in this planner, I have designated 1 column for the goal of that week, and then I've started it on a Monday through Saturday with the intention of Sundays is off limits. I'm not working on Sundays, and this is just going to serve as like my weekly checklist for that week to make sure that these things are scheduled in my week and then they get done. So I just like that I'm able to really see what exactly I have to check off every single day aside from my day-to-day, which would be in my Nancy planner. And so this is specific to that project and what I have to do for that specific project. And so I designated the column for goals, and then what I did every single day is whatever needs to be either posted or launched that day, it has a little box and the actual item I need to do so that I can be able to check it off. And so this is based off of the project plan that I've created. I've shared with you guys that I usually do like big brain dumps, and essentially I do the exact same thing when I'm planning out projects, but then I will come in with my project books and I will then get my crazy brain dump and really create a structure and have an actual plan for that project. And then this is what I'll organize into my actual plan. So as you can see, this is already a lot, and so that's why I like to be able to just kind of have a separate area where I'm really focused on just this specific project, but it's not on my day-to-day because my Nancy are things I still have to get done. That's still part of my schedule, and this is the extra workload that I have for this season of my life. And again, because this is a 30-day project in this case, I don't necessarily need a full planner. So it's really good to be able to have this Undated version where you can utilize it as needed for those specific things. And then on this side, I already have a breakdown of each week since it is going to be like a 4-week thing. And what I know is that I'm going to be taking notes and auditing my time around this because I am gaining all of these insights so that I can implement these strategies for my clients. So it's serving 2 purposes, and that's exactly what it's laid out to do and what I'm going to be using this layout for. And so if you have a specific project or maybe a new routine or something that you want to check off every single day, and you know you have a couple of things every day, but you don't want it to overload your planner, this is a great option. So that is the Undated Rose Planner. And then the other one that I have, this is the Large Scout, and this is the Undated also. And this one is the one that started as my budget planner. And then when the Small Scout came out, that's when I transitioned to it. But I love this layout for that. And so what I did is, we are approaching Lent season, and I always like to do a specific Bible study during the Lent season. And so I wanted an area to really help me keep track of all of my daily readings, because I'm also doing the another year-long Bible study and my daily devotional. So I like to just have a space where I'm like keeping track of everything, especially when it's going to be somewhat of a challenge to incorporate that into my daily routine. So what I've done with the Scout layout for this is, again, I'm able to start it whenever I want to. So this is starting this week because Ash Wednesday is on Wednesday. And so I like to really prep and be super structured about what I'm going to do. As y'all can tell, I'm all about planning and being prepared, and that is no different for my Bible studies and my prayer time. And so I really like to have this zoomed out version of everything that I can expect. So what I did is I brought in the reading plan. Let me get this really quickly from my little cart. So I've been following the Heart Dive podcast this year for my Bible, for the year-long Bible study. And so I have the plan printed out here, and I kind of was just going like checklist day to day. But now that, you know, with the Lent season, I'm adding an additional study. I wanted something that was going to help me keep track of both at the same time. So that is where this layout came in. So again, I started this on the Monday because that's just kind of how I like to start my weeks. But it also is going to give me the view of what I'm reading for the actual Lent Bible study, and then what day I'm on for that podcast reading plan. And then on my weekly, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to check off that I'm doing my daily devotionals, because that's just something aside that I always do and part of my routine. But then here I will be keeping track of what chapters I read, along with not just my Heart Dive podcast, but also with that Lent study that I'm currently in. And that way I have a really good view. And since Sundays, most of the days are rest days in the Bible study, once I finish my daily reading with the Heart Dive, then I can really go in and do extra studying that I kind of either pointed out during the week or whatever I kind of made a note of. But this is going to help me just kind of really see it in the big picture, instead of just kind of relying on a checklist, which is great as an overview, but I really like to have an area where I can see everything. And again, as you guys have known me in my videos, I love the satisfaction of being able to check things off and know that I'm getting it done. So right now my Bible study is actually in digital, and so let me just show you guys that real quick. So it's just a list of what is going to be that day and what you're reading, and you have to actually click on that day to get your reading plan and then get kind of like that commentary. So this is what I would essentially be writing down in the day once I actually read it, and then if there's any additional reading. So this will just give me a really nice recap of what I've actually been reading during those days. So I'm really excited about that, to be able to look back on that. And then I have prepped just, I think, the first 3 weeks, since this is starting in February. So here there is 2 weeks of February, and then it goes into March. So that's what I love about having Undated Collections in my planner stack, because you just never know when you really just need to branch something out. If it's a temporary busy season for you and you just want to really focus in on something and you don't need a full planner, this is just a perfect way to kind kind of start when you want to start, end when you want to end, and really create that full layout of what you want your planner to actually look like from start to finish. And so I love the flexibility for these specific purposes. So this will be used during the full Lent season to track all of my Bible study and keep me accountable for all of the other Bible studies I'm saying and working on at the same time. And then the Undated Rose is the one that I will be working on with for a 30-day project plan. So again, really different ways that you're using or could use your undated planners. This is how I'm using them. If you want me to break down how I actually plan for a 30-day specific project, from brain dumping to actually making the lists and then creating the schedule of an actual 30-day project, let me know. I'm happy to film that and break that down for you guys. I do it often for my marketing clients when I'm planning out specific sprints and things like that in the marketing season or fresh marketing seasons for each client. So I'm happy to help with that. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, I think the Laurel Denise is going to be launching sometime in March, but I'll have the official date in my description for the entirely new Undated collection. So you can expect brand new covers and designs for all of the layouts. So yeah, I hope that that was helpful. If you think you would use an undated planner, I would love to hear your feedback on how you would use an undated planner. And as always, if you have any questions about anything planners, let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.